Well, hi there. Thanks for stopping by. I'm Cindy with Impressing Ideas, and today we're going to create a 5x7 pop-up pocket card. So let's show you real quick what I mean by that. So it's just going to have a simple pop-up. We're going to make a little mini card for whatever event you're sending this for, with a magnetic gift card holder that slips right inside the pocket that we create. Are you ready to get started? Let's show you what we're going to use today. So I'm going to set this aside. We are going to use the beautiful Blue Fern Studios paper. This time we're going to use one of the pieces from the Radiance collection. This particular page, this is side A of Sun Rays. We flip it over to side B. It's absolutely beautiful. So we're going to use one sheet of that. We're going to use Blue Fern Studios lace. This is lace number 22. We are going to use some basic gray magnets. We're just going to use one pair of the small ones. We are going to use a black Tombow marker. We're going to use one of the Studio Katia embellishment ones and one of their packages of flat back pearls. This is called Apricot Glace. We're going to use the Blue Fern Studios Ephemera pack that goes with the Radiance collection. We are going to use, a piece of cardstock from our Stardreams collection. This happens to be the color Mojito. So beautiful. We're going to use a sheet of white cardstock. We're going to use our art glitter glue, a self-healing mat, a craft knife, and either some 3D glue dots or some foam adhesive squares, whatever you have regarding that, foam tape, whatever you have handy. All right, let's get started. Let's start by taking our 12 by 12 sheet of cardstock, and since we're gonna make this a 5x7 card, we're gonna cut this sheet to be 7 by 10. So I'm gonna grab my paper cutter for a minute, bring it in front of us. Start by cutting off this banner. Okay, then I'm gonna turn this. I want to capture these flowers. So I'm gonna line this up at 7 inches. Then we'll turn this and cut it at 10. Okay. So put my paper cutter aside, grab my scoreboard. Put my sheet of cardstock in. Just as a reminder, this Blue Fern Studios cardstock is 100-pound cardstock. Put it in across at 10 inches, score in half at 5 inches. Remember that when we score, we're making an indentation, and we're going to fold our card so that the bump or the mountain that is formed from that scoring is on the inside. That helps to prevent any kind of cracking. But what I started to say is Blue Fern Studios papers, it's wonderful. It does not crack when you score and fold. That's just a great rule to have, though. That way of scoring and folding is a great rule to have, because some papers aren't as good as others when it comes to that. Now I am going to put my self-healing craft mat inside my card. And I am just gonna kind of trace along some of this flower, making a pocket. So this is the Tonic Studios craft knife. Whatever craft knife you have, I'm sure will be fabulous. When you use a self-healing cutting mat, make sure that you're using not the shiny side, but the matte side, because that's the side that actually will heal. You want to put your knife in, and you want to do your best to just slowly trace along the area with your blade. And then I want you to see, I'm going to turn my paper. And I'm going to continue. I'm not going to try to do that corner. See that? If I do that, I'm eliminating any kind of ragged cut or shape. I want you to go slow. Your goal, and I just kind of blew it right there, your goal is to keep the blade buried in your paper so you don't have all these stop and start cuts. Sometimes it doesn't work out, but anyhow. Okay, so I'm kind of going around the petals. Go around this leaf. Let's see. I'm pondering. How much further do I want to go? I think I'm going to go all the way down to the petal. And then I'm going to go around this petal. I want to make sure I have enough room to slip a little mini card that will hold a gift card. So I want it big enough to be able to slip into that. And I'm going to say, if we stop about there, that should be good. Okay. Now let's very carefully make certain that we were able to cut all the way through, and it looks like we are. Let's start there. Now it's always wonderful to finish that edge. It kind of helps clean up any where you didn't do awesome if you're cutting. If you use a black marker. This is a water-based marker. I really love using Tombow. Now you could go like this, pop all these cuts out like this, but you run the risk of accidentally leaving a mark on the top of the paper. So I'm going to push this back. Hope this makes sense. I'm going to push this back, and I'm going to take my pen, and I'm going to use the brush tip of my marker to come from the back side of the cardstock. That way, if there's any slipping, it's going to show up like that. It's not going to show up. So our goal is just to finish that edge, hiding any imperfections in our cut. Also, it will make it look like that was how this paper was designed. So I'm just going to finish this up. Should be a quick, easy process. Okay, now when I do this, it just looks like it's how it was supposed to be, like it was always that way. Okay, put the lid on, set that aside. Okay, let's cut our cardstock, our Mojito paper down for this mini card. Let me pull this out so that you see what I'm doing. So it's a card that I have left it blank because I'm not sure what I'm going to use this for yet. And then I have an area on top. It's got a magnetic closure to hold a gift card. So the Mojito cardstock is cut down to 5 3/4 by 4 3/4. And then I'm going to score it at 2 7/8. So I'll get my scoreboard back out. Okay. Let's see. So 4 3/4. You know what? 5 1/2. Let's amend that. 5 1/2 by 4 3/4. I realized that I amended this size because this was one of the ephemera pieces in the ephemera pack, but there's not 2 of everything, so I have to switch gears, and I chose Let Your Light Shine, so I made this a little bit smaller. Okay, that being said, so now we're at the 5 1/2 mark. Let's go ahead and score that in half at 2 3/4, because that is half of 5 1/2. Oops, 5 1/2, 2 3/4. Here we go. Why does that not look right? Okay, I'll do that one more time. Put my tool away. Fold that in half. Bone folder, so that I burnish that well. I love these synthetic bone folders because it doesn't leave a shine on your paper. Okay, set that aside for a minute. Then for my white cardstock, we're going to use white cardstock on the inside and for the top of this. So, on the top of this card. So I cut this down to be 5 1/8 by 4 1/2. So let's score. Half of 5 is 2 1/2. So let's go 2, and it's going to be right between half and 5/8. So I'm going to scoot that ever so slightly. Okay, let's see if I did that well. Ooh, every now and then. Okay. That's going to go on top here, like that. I'm going to trim that ever so slightly because I'm off just a smidge. So let's trim. Let's see if that fits well. What do you think? Looks pretty good. All right. Put the scoreboard away for a minute. Okay. Now, before I layer this together, I'm going to go ahead and grab a pair of magnets. So one is a positive. And if I flip it over, now I'm going to say this better. 2 parts, one is a negative, one is a positive. That white label that you're looking at, that's the protective liner for the adhesive. I'm going to take one of those, let's just use our craft knife since it's nearby. I'm going to lift that protective liner up, exposing the adhesive. And look at this just for reference. I've paired them together. And I'm gonna say, you always want to put this in about a finger width in, so that when you layer your cardstock over the top, it actually is covered. I am now going to separate that. Use my ATG gun to glue this over the top or make a layer. That way we're hiding our magnet. Let's put one right down the middle. Okay. And I always stand when I layer my paper because I like to hover and see what I'm doing. So that looks fairly even. Okay. Oh, and I think I got it on crooked. Whoa. We're just gonna go with it. Too bad. Handmade, right? Okay, here's the front. And I am gonna put just a hint, I should have looked at that. Just gonna put a little bit of glue right here. That's right where the magnet is. I didn't do a great job getting the ATG on the very edge. I should have been better at that. Okay, so I'm going to make up for it by using my ATG. I'm sorry, my art glitter glue. And now we're good to go. Okay, now I'm going to let it find its mate. Did you hear that? I mean, it'll find it, no problem. Actually, no. What am I doing? I'm gonna close this first, let it find its mate, and now I have to find this. See that? This is gonna be our layer. So, let's... Oh, I feel like I need a little bit more layer. Let's see, what would this look like? That was part of the scrap. Let's do a dry run here. Let's layer that and that. Oh, I like that better. Okay, so let's trim this. And actually, if I turn it this way, will I get more elements showing? Maybe even raise that. Okay, I'm gonna get out my paper trimmer. I want some of this to show. So, that's Zena. Can you hear Zena? She's yelling. Sorry, guys. Okay, let's make a mark. Make it kind of the same width. Okay, let's cut it there. See how we do there. Let's do another check. Okay. And if we layer that, wow, I still hid that. Oh well. Okay. Let's layer this. Ooh. Nope. Forgot I didn't remove this protective liner. Let's do that. Better put some more glue because this dries very quickly. This down here just in case that's better. Make this semi-even. There we go. Burnish. let's do this. Do we want to mount it with mounting tape or do we just want it flat? Just flat. Flat it is. Okay. So now we have created a magnetic closure that will hold a gift card. We'll pretend that this is the gift card. Okay, now we're gonna do a dry run. Let's see if this fits into the beginning of the pocket that we're working on. I'm gonna cut it just a smidge more. This would be fine, but I'm gonna cut it just a little bit more. And because we're creating this as we go, this is just the process. You go where you think, and then you continue if need be. Okay, so this right here, let's go ahead and kind of round the corner on that petal. Ooh, I think that'd do it. Let's give it a shot. Look at the difference that made. Yay! Okay, now we can really put this away. Close up my craft knife, put that away. Okay, before we finish, I'm going to set this aside. Now let's work on the inside. So for the inside, we're going to use the white cardstock, the rest of that white cardstock, and this time it's going to be cut at 6 3/4 by 9 3/4. We're going to score that in half. At 4 7/8. Burnish that. We'll do a double check before we do our next step. So let's verify that we have an even border all the way around, and we do. This is gonna do two things. It's gonna complete our pocket, and we'll have the opportunity now to do our little pop-up. Just a super simple pop-up. So let's see. I know many of you like to have an approximate area. So let's fold this top corner down to about the let's start that fold at about the 2 1/4 mark. That's not a rule. I'm just thinking of some of you in particular who are gonna ask, well, how far do I fold? So that's, try 2 1/4. Put this aside. Okay, now what you're going to do is you're going to fold that in the reverse. Okay, nice and flexible. And now you're going to open this and you're going to poke it in and fold it closed. See that? So we'll do a dry run. See how that just will pop open? Okay, now I'm going to put this in my card. Okay. Use my ATG gun again. Let me think about this for a second. I'm gonna go here, here, so I'm going all the way around the perimeter and up the center. Okay. Now, yep, we're pretty good. Next, I'm going to take this and I'm going to this is my liner, so I'm gonna fold my card so that I don't go past that score line. I feel like I need to scoot this down a little bit, so the good news about ATG, you can reposition it all day long. Okay, I'll try that one more time, bringing this down just a smidge. Give that a shot. Okay, burnish. Okay, now I'm gonna, in the folded position, use my ATG, go around the perimeter. And now I'm gonna think about this for a minute because I wanna make sure that this remains a pocket. It will. Okay. We need the strength right here. Okay. I'm not going to put glue right here. Let's burnish that in place. Okay. See? Now when we open that, we have an opportunity to stick something there so that it will poke up. And I'll show you that in just a moment. Let's come back here to the front of our card. Let's slip our little gift card holder into the pocket in such a way that you appreciate the look still. Let's see, what do we have to use that Blue Fern Studios lace? Just love it. So we can go like this. We could go like this. This. But then we might get caught here. I'm gonna go here. So let me cut that. Okay. Let's use some art glitter glue. We'll just run a bead. Whoops. I'm getting out of control, girls. Sorry about that. Okay. Lace is so pretty. Burnish that. We're good. All right. How about if we do some of these beautiful Studio Katia pearls? All right, what do we think? How about one right here? So we'll use our wand, we'll find one that we like, pick it up, and bring it to the glue dot. Nice and simple. How about dot, dot, I don't know, there. Put a bigger one at the bottom, maybe a middle one, middle size rather, and a smaller one in that little cluster. Got a little excited with the glue. Good news is it dries clear. how about, I like odd numbers. I think our eye really appreciates odd numbers naturally. So we've got 3, 4, let's put one here, that would make 5. All right, let's call that good for now. We might come back and add some more. How about, what else can we do? This is from the Ephemera pack. What do we think? Could do a diagonal. Let's see. Maybe I'm looking at our Ephemera. Can't decide. I'm gonna glue these together. I think that's pretty. That way we bring some consistency from this card into the paper. Maybe that'll go on the inside. With this Ephemera pack has this little circle. So let's bring something from the front of the card to the inside of the card. And then, what are we gonna pop up? Do we wanna pop this up? Since it says let your light shine, how about shine on? And this could be for all kinds of occasions. Congratulations, or just an encouragement. Okay. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open this. And I want this to come up higher than the card when it's open. But you wanna make sure that when it closes, it can close all the way. So, we're gonna put a little bit of glue on the mechanism rather than the element, because we want to make sure that it will be covered, that we don't accidentally glue the cards shut. So let's do that. So now that's going to raise up higher than the top of the card in the open position. And then when we close it, see, it closes all the way. How nice that goes. All right, so how fun is that? Okay, let's finish this. Wrap that back onto itself if it goes outside. And I could stamp "You are my" if I want, or I could just write that. These Ephemera packs are just fun. I could fussy cut this out of one of the papers, that's for sure. Or in this case, circle punch. Ooh, we need some pearls. Let's add some pearls in here. Why not? Let's bring some over here. Okay, how about dot, where? Dot, dot, there. There. Okay. Here's my wand. Oh my goodness, out of control. Okay, I'm gonna put the largest one at the bottom because it's closest to us. And let's grab a middle-sized one. That would be the next size. And a tiny one. Again, I got the biggest glue dot for the tiniest. That's okay, it'll disappear. Okay, let's let that dry. Put that away, Put the lid on my glue. I'm gonna see if I can get some of that glue off of there. That's better. Okay. All right, we can write a fun message there. I feel like we want to do something else on the front. What else? Let's look at this. Now, oh, you know what? Let's do some pop dots right there. Do we want to mat it with some green, or do we want to just leave it alone? Let's mat it. We can. Okay, so this is 4 3/4. So let's make this 5 inches. Is this 5 inches? Nope. And then how wide is this? This looks like it's about 1 inch. And it is. So let's do 1 1/4 by 5. So I'll start here. This is, how wide is this right now? It's 4 3/4. So let's scoot it over to 3 3/4. Then just make sure that that looks fine. Wow, I barely. Okay. Fine. And then we're going to have to cut out those V's. A little flag. So I'm going to do my art glitter glue. I did it like this because I see that there was a little corner here that wasn't lovely. So I'm going to just cut it off anyways. Trim. And of course, this does not have to be perfect. This is a handmade card. Oops, let's get that a little bit closer. Okay, there we go. I like it. What do you girls think? Okay, let's use some pop dots. Okay, so remember when you have glue dots of any kind, whether they're pop dots or the regular dots, remember you don't pick off the dot with your fingers. You bring your source to the dot, press, and there you go, and it just comes right up. Okay, I am going to just center this, press down. What do you think? Let's give you a closer look. See all the texture we created with the lace and the flat back pearls with Studio Katia. Open that. Got the pearls on the inside, different ephemera pieces. Take out our little mini card, open up our little secret compartment for our gift card. Write your message or stamp something fun. Put it back in there. I sure hope you give this a try. I hope it inspires you to create. And until I get to see you again, I hope you stay crafty. Look forward to seeing you soon. Bye-bye.